Hello, travelers. Wow, it's been crazy. I have missed you guys a lot. I'm going to make a few announcements before I get started with the reading. The first is Mr. M. Young. You just purchased a subscription to the website. I need you to check your spam folder. I have sent you an email. I need some information from you so that I can create you your natal chart. But also, if you log in to the site, you should also see the same message. So I was trying to reach you, but just know that Hotmail and Gmail don't play well together, nor does Yahoo. Yahoo don't play well with Gmail. And so 9 times out of 10, if you are a subscriber, make sure that you add my email address to your contacts so that you can receive information from me, readings, whatever the case may be. So that's first. Second thing, my classes are about ready to go. I have just a few more videos to complete to go with the lessons. However, we're about to come up on a Mercury retrograde, and anybody who is a Virgo is sensitive to, or even a Gemini, is very sensitive to Mercury movements. And so the end of September, I'm going to launch those classes. Finally, I've got it done. That's crazy. The next thing, I am going to be working on the individual readings for the month of September to post up to the website. So bear with me, they are coming. And do expect your elementals here as well. And so, as most of you know, I received the scholarship to Astrology University, and this is a 4-year plan to become a certified astrologer. I have learned a lot from Jessica Adams, and I've been dabbling in astrology myself, but I just needed a firmer foundation, and so that's why I'm taking these classes. My ultimate goal is to get my PhD in metaphysics, and that's going to be the next thing that is on the ticket to do. At which point, I'm just going to notify you guys now, Hidden Lotus Tarot will go away. It will no longer exist. I will relaunch, my channel, but it will be under a different name. And I haven't decided what that name's going to be yet. It's probably just going to be my name. So I won't be going away. I won't stop doing readings, but Hidden Lotus Tarot will be no more. It has served its purpose for me. Now, with that being said, this it says September general reading, and while I'm talking to you, I'm going to go ahead and change that. I'm going to add some more information into it. The reading today is going to be about the new moon, full moon that will be occurring. Okay, so we just had let me give my little paper. On the 27th of August, we had a new moon falling at 8 Virgo. Now, on the 10th of September, in just 9 days, we're going to have a full moon at 17 Pisces. So look in your charts. If you have a chart, you can get a chart from me, or if you're on Jessica's website, you can use that chart. So anything that's falling at 17 Pisces, or 17 degrees, pardon me, you want to pay attention to what those planets or bodies are, okay? Because that's going to kind of pull in the energy. However, there's this funny little thing. I was just looking at my software here. There's going to be, it's a 7-degree orb. And by 7-degree orbs, I mean that there's 7 degrees between these two bodies. So the moon, this full moon in Pisces that's coming up on the 10th of September, is going to be conjunct Neptune. Now, full moons are always times that are fraught with high emotion. And you're not going to be able to maybe necessarily see exactly what is happening due to that Neptunian influence. And it's it's a wide orb, but usually the larger planets have the outer planets, the big outer planets have a larger gravitational pull, so there's an influence there. Moon and Neptune energy go together very, very well. So it could be an emotional time. It could be a time of feeling as though you are floating. It could be a time where you may be feeling very spiritual. It could be a time in which you are feeling extremely empathetic and sympathetic to people. And sometimes that energy can make you get suckered in and taken in. So you kind of want to be aware of what's going on. It can be a time when, maybe for people who have substance abuse issues, you can overindulge, or you may know someone who might be going through that. And so this is why we always tell you, try not to make a decision 3 days leading up to the full moon to 3 days past. And the reason why is the moon is the fastest moving body in the sky. Every 2.4 days, it changes signs. So if you can wait, do your best to wait, because you may not be able to see clearly whatever it is you need to see. The moon always brings up deep psychological issues and fears for us sometimes, depending on what's happening. And so you never want to make a decision when you are confused, or you don't have all the facts, or something is being hidden from you, or if you're fearful of something occurring. So try not to make decisions that way. Okay, we are in retrograde season, and at the moment we have 5 planets in retrograde. Let me give them to you here. I thought I wrote them down. We have Uranus is retrograde at 18 Taurus. Jupiter is retrograde at 5 Aries. Neptune is retrograde at 24 Pisces. Saturn is retrograde at 20 Aquarius. And so on the 10th, the same day as the full moon, Mars will actually go retrograde at 8 Libra. So that is 6 planets out of the 9 that will be in retrograde status. Okay, and that's retrograde is always important, because it just seems like things are traveling backwards, right? But I also wanted to mention to you, there's a square between Saturn and Uranus. It's a 2-degree orb, and we have Uranus in Taurus and Saturn in Aquarius. And that's kind of a funny energy, because Aquarius is ruled by, it has a dual rulership, so to speak, in traditional astrology. Both ruled by the planet of Saturn. But modern astrology says that Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So it's kind of a blending of the two energies, okay, because they both can represent or rule both signs. Both rule Aquarius. It's kind of a blending energy, but and they're both fixed signs, okay? But Uranus is usually this idea of revolution or change or upheaval, and then Saturn wants to create some kind of stability and has a limiting kind of depressing effect. So when you have a square between those two planets, you've got this hurry up and wait kind of an energy, okay? So you do want to be mindful of that. And so this is, this year is I can't speak for anyone else, but 2022 seems to be flying by extraordinarily fast, and we'll be moving into 2023 here in just a few months. Our fall equinox is coming up. We'll be heading into winter, and so I can say 2022 has been a thrill a minute. It's been a real roller coaster ride, up and down, financial changes, market changes, COVID changes, weather changes. So it's just been, travel changes, anything that you can think of that has changed. And so this has just been a really crazy kind of a year, in that it was full of surprises, that with that Uranian energy, expect the unexpected, okay? So with that being said, I have with me today the Radiant White deck. We will clarify what Levita Sibila should we need. And depending on what the story is about, we will determine what oracle card that I will use to wrap up the reading. Last thing I want to say is I've been hearing from a lot of you, and it's been quite surprising. You guys were just sending me emails. I want to thank you so much for some of you, giving me support. Others of you, and Cam Wilder girl, you got 12 stars by your name. Yes, you do. And some of you have questions about certain things. I've been getting great feedback from the personal readings I've been doing, and I really love that, to get the feedback from that, because I do the readings cold. So And so I just wanted to thank you for that. It's helped me out tremendously, and I really, really appreciate it. Okay, so let me go ahead and turn the camera around. I haven't had time to get myself a new camera, so y'all just gonna bear with the old one at the moment. And I've already done some meditation and shuffling on these 2 moons. For those of you who are new to my reading, to my channel and my style of reading, when I say general, that means that there's no set sign. There's no individual sign that I'm reading for. There's no time frame ever in the tarot. I can try to give you somewhat of an indication, but all things in their right time. So what I try to do is give you a reading in which I can cover as many bases as I can, because everybody has a different story going on in their life. And you take what you can from it, and if it don't have nothing for you, then you'll have to wait till the next one, okay? But I try to include something in it for everybody, all right? Whether you recognize the story or not. So, be a 9-card reading. In order to gain, I forgot to say this. So, because this is general, if you want any insight into your own personal situation, that does require a personal reading. And so you can click on the little eye that's going to show up here near the end of the video, and that will take you directly over to the website where I have several reading packages, okay? My turnaround time is 24 to 72 hours. I've been stretched out a little bit to about 4 days, but you know, you will get your reading quite quickly. I don't believe in making people wait. Okay. All right. I once tried to book a reading a long time ago with the reader, and she had it was like a 6-month wait. I'm like, by the time I get to that, whatever was happening with me ain't gonna be happening no more. So I don't like to make people wait, you know. All right, here we go. 9 cards down. Knight of Cups. That can be that moony Neptunian energy, okay, coming in. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if you can. I'm at a weird angle. Oh, well. The 10 of Swords. The 4 of Pentacles. Oh, right off the bat. Okay. Okay. Next row. The 9 of Pentacles. The King of Wands. Oh, wow. The Knight of Pentacles. So now I have 2 Knights and 3 Pentacles. Okay. Here we go. Last row. Oh, the Star card. It did come up reversed, but you guys know I don't read reverse cards. I'm going to turn it back that way. Okay. Reversed. The 6 of Cups. And finally, well, there's our Hanged Man. It's quite interesting. What is the energy over the entire spread? It is the Temperance card. So right off the bat, we're talking about a situation that is going to require moderation, balance, perhaps compromise, and reconciliation. Now, when I say reconciliation, I'm not speaking about 2 people getting back together per se. I don't know if that's what the cards are telling me at the moment. Reconciliation is about balancing the 2 opposites, okay? And balancing your emotions with your desire. Balancing your emotions against what you think or what you've heard. Balancing your emotions against maybe what you're doing, the Pentacles, okay? So we shall see how this plays out. The key, perhaps, for the month of September, with these moons, the squares, the retrogrades, and whatnot, conjunctions, is going to require, I think, a balance. And that is always important. For some of you, the message is coming across that you are on the right path. Okay. But the fact that the road is really long and you've got mountains back there with your goal at the top indicates that it may take a while and that you will encounter obstacles along the way. So do be mindful of that energy. Now, I have 1, 2, 3 court cards, okay? Again, as I said, I have 2 cups, 1, 2, 3 pentacles, 2 major arcanas, a sword, and a wand. For those of you new to my channel, cups simply speak to emotions. Pentacles can represent both finances, but also the doing of something, the third dimension, the physical world. The wands will represent your focus, passion, and or desire. The swords represent thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communications. And the major arcana are your spiritual lessons. Now, the major arcana represent, one of them holds more sway than all of these, what are known as pip cards. Okay? So we've got 2 of them. Now, first thing I can say, there was some movement that was happening here in this spread, and the reason why there was some movement here, it is shown to me through these particular knights, the fact that there are horses. Most people will look at the knights as actual people coming into your life, and yes, that is true. But for me, the knights always represent movement. They represent some type of event. In other words, a situation can have slow or stagnant, and suddenly the knight rides in and changes the direction of it. Both of these are faced towards the future. We have past, present, future, past, present, future, interplay of the cards. So we see these 2 knights here, both coming with news, yes, perhaps offers or proposals. Maybe this message definitely has an emotional quotient to it. So it says that whatever this thing is, or even this person, that they're coming with something that looks highly attractive and taps into your emotional quotient, your emotional body. Him. This guy usually comes in with news and message to move a situation along. Something you've been waiting for quite a while. Okay, that's what this says. And it can relate to financial interest, jobs, projects, and whatnot, but also the idea of learning something and taking your time to do it. He is the slowest moving knight in the deck. And this card usually says, when he shows up, it usually brings good news, and it's news that you've been waiting on for a long time. Okay? This guy here comes in and he offers whatever it is he's got to offer, but it's a fickle energy. You see, he's not even, his horse is stopped in mid-stride. He has not crossed that little river there of emotions. So this can contain the promise of something. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get it. And I would say for some of you, this is true. Whatever happened here, whatever news came in, some of you, it was very disappointing. In fact, it felt like someone had stabbed you in the back. This could even be an ambush situation here. Okay? It is the darkest before the dawn, as you can see here. Okay. Sometimes this can be about travel around water, by water, over water, near water. Okay. So again, there's movement here in this spread, right? But it's a 10. And so this will be a changing energy. So the 10 of Swords is the idea. It tells you that whatever has happened, or whatever you think has happened, or whatever you think about the situation, or whatever you have heard, the crisis point has been reached. In other words, like, it can't get no worse, okay? And once this energy is over, you get the Ace of Swords. You're able to hopefully think clearly, or at least formulate some kind of logical plan, conclusion, whatever the case may be. Now, the Four of Pentacles is all about conserving, okay? It is a 4, so it represents a firm foundation, so to speak. But it can also indicate a stagnation. This is somebody who's hanging on to their money. Okay. And so maybe you need to kind of conserve right now. Watch your spending, whatever the case may be. But remember, I said that the Pentacles are also this idea of the third dimension of doing things. So this could be the idea that maybe you need to stop what you're doing for a moment. Conserve your energy. your whatever it is that you're doing, so that you can regain a balance. This is my past. Here at the present, I have the Nine of Pentacles. Now, this is really one of my favorite cards in the deck because it implies a focus on the completion of events. But I think something has gone wrong, okay? It is a 9, and 9s are about a moment of pause before moving forward to the next step. The logical, hopefully, conclusion is that the next step would be a 10, and then it would begin a new cycle to where you're going to be receiving the Ace of Pentacles. Now, this is interesting because he is holding the Ace of Cups, okay? And the Ace of Cups is not always about love. It could be new business partnerships. It could be new projects. It could be a change in a life direction for you. But that is news and message. It's an offer, and it came in, and something was not quite perhaps as you hoped it would be, thought it would be, signed on the dotted line for. But here again, we're talking about the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles represents someone who maybe for the most part has been alone, but they do well for being alone by themselves. They have, oh my God, my camera's going down. They have, there we go. They have put their nose to the grindstone. They have kind of ignored all the frivolous stuff that's been going on, and they've worked at something, and they have something to show for it, okay? As you can see, she's in her garden with her grapes. She's got her finery on. She's in a wall garden, by the way. There are all her pentacles, so she's been tending this crop and doing what was necessary to see it grow and flourish. Sometimes this card to me comes as a indication of perhaps a house move or relocation. We see the snail there on the bottom of the card. It can also be an indication of a promotion or bonus or some type of recognition or reward, but it is of, in a sense, financial nature, saying, you know what, you worked hard, you deserve this here, let me give you that. Now in the center I have this King of Wands. And right off the bat, I don't know if I'm reading, first of all, for a female or male, or if you identify as either sex. The King of Wands in general would represent a fire sign. So we're looking at either a Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aries. Okay. Basically, he represents the sign of Leo, but it could be any fire sign. And this person, as a profession, is typically your entrepreneurial kind of king. Okay. He's the guy that's running his own business. He's got a lot of irons in the fire. He's very passionate. He's kind of quick and moves fast, and he loves to delegate. Kings are the air. He is the airy part of fire. And the airy part indicates that he's got enough mental capacity to think, to plan, to communicate, to actually put his ideas down and then carry through with them. Okay. The passionate individual. But then we have this knight on the backside. I've just explained to you what he meant, but he's now going in a different direction. Then we come to the future row. This reverse star. Now, they just don't speak to me upside down. So I'm going to first start with the idea of what it means upright. The star card offers a moment of peace, of hope, of inspiration, and it tells you that whatever dreams or plans that you have are going to go well. It also, to me, is an indication of the cosmology, the timing of it. So we're talking about the time frame between the new moon in Virgo and this full moon that's coming up in Pisces, but yet it is reversed. We come to the 6. 6s imply some kind of balance, perhaps an emotional balance, but it is the idea of kindness, of generosity, of sentiment. I've seen this card show up sometimes when people are planning on taking a trip back home to their childhood location, or they have are involved with people who are just really, really kind, or you've been really, really kind to someone. I've seen it show up when it talks about maybe redecorating your home and remodeling, that kind of a thing. But then it ends with the Hanged Man. And to me, this says that whatever the situation is, between these two moons, the energy is going to come to a stop. And it's not necessarily, it may come to a stop due to the actions or inactions of someone else that you may be involved with. But for me, this card is really saying that you should stop what you are doing at this particular time so that you can regroup and view whatever has happened or has not happened from a higher perspective, from a different perspective. Okay, we have to remember that the Hanged Man placed himself there. Okay, nobody put him up there, but he did so that he would have an opportunity to just maybe take a moment to, quote unquote, gather his senses. I will throw out here, for those of you who are new, I do not do health readings, but maybe this may come to pass due to some type of back issue or headache issue or neck issue or just lots of tension. Sometimes we can hold tension in our bodies and it causes us a lot of pain. As you can see here, someone may be suffering from perhaps vertigo or hip, knee, leg, or foot injury. Okay, and sometimes when we're moving kind of fast or we're not quite focused, we can have accidents, right, and hurt ourselves. So I am throwing that out. Now, I can't quite honestly say to you what this is about, so I'm going to have to get some more information. I'm going to remove these 3 court cards because traditionally they represent people. What does that leave me? It leaves me 1, 2, 3, 4 pip cards, 10 of swords, 4 of pentacles, 9 of pentacles, and the 6 of cups as they relate to these 2 major arcana cards. First thing I'm going to do is give you a few interpretations of the reversed star and a few keywords. Okay, let me get my book here. It is interesting that the star has presented itself reversed. Well, keywords: delay, prolongation, loss, impotence, and a lack of success. Reversed, it may be indicating that a loss will be incurred caused by a lack of judgment. So this is why I am saying to you that Moon-Neptune conjunction, even though it's a 7-orb difference, you really want to be careful about making decisions around this time. It may foretell that you may experience some temporary setbacks or may be easily taken in by a con man or be the victim of a theft or scam. And it may already have happened for some of you. Okay? It is implying that the timing is not right and your desires will not come to fruition just yet. It warns of disappointments due to a pessimistic attitude, unfulfilled hope, a lack of opportunity, doubt, and stubbornness. It indicates a loss through a lack of good judgment. So that's the second time you've gotten that, and this is really going to be the key to this energy. It is telling you to remain in complete control of your emotions. It asks that you hold on to your point of view and be patient. Contemplate your mistakes of the past and put things into perspective. So that's what we're dealing with here. And if that is the case, then this tells me that in a way you're going to regain some type of faith in kindness, generosity, charity. Maybe someone has done something to you, a con man. Maybe they conned you in the arena of love, or they conned you in the arena of promising to do something for you that they didn't do. Maybe they've conned you out of money. But the key is to not allow that to make you bitter. That's the thing that I'm looking for. So that is what we're dealing with here. Now, let me look at these cards to see if they bring me any additional information as they relate to these cards here. What am I looking at? The 10 of Swords. And the sword cards, I think out of the sword cards, the 8 and 9 are the most difficult mental energy to come out of. The 10 can sometimes be difficult as well because it talks about, this idea of some kind of painful or difficult situation that, may have happened. But it's a 10. And that means that it's about to be over for you. Pain, affliction, sadness, betrayal, grief, distress, self-pity, endings, and karmic lessons. Now let's see if there is anything. There is nothing that relates to these two cards. Okay. The Four of Pentacles. With 3 court cards. Yeah. It is asking you not to take on board other people's opinions and views. Listen to your own intuition and do not be influenced by others. So you've gotten that message twice. You received it here, even with the reverse star card. Hold on to your opinions. Don't chuck it out, whatever the project is yet. Don't give up just yet. Now is not the time, however, for you to be making great decisions or big moves. There's a lesson in this for you somewhere. 6 of Cups. Tells me nothing. Okay? But I will say this. Sometimes this may represent new experiences. And sometimes it can represent things that are in the past, such as childhood. So maybe whatever this thing is, you can trace it back to something that happened to you in your childhood. But it also implies an acceptance and understanding of past issues and experiences. It says, and it represents a time of quiet contemplation to assimilate all facets of your life to date. That's what this is telling me. Okay? I mean, sometimes, things, we want things or we work towards things and we don't get them, or we get them and it's not what we expected it to be. But that's okay. That's not a big deal. So the question is, try to take a moment. Well, not the question, but the issue is then to try to take a moment to reflect on that. Because from here to here, it's like you guys, you gained 5 coins. And the 5 of coins is a card of sometimes feeling sorry for yourself or feeling that you're not worthy. Maybe you've been struggling financially. Maybe someone offered you help and you took it, but they turned out to take advantage of you. And that can sometimes make us bitter and disappointed. So, but no, you're not alone. It's happened to other people before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look. First thing I want to look at is this 10 of Swords. This is quite a strong line here. Okay. And I feel from the 4 to this particular night, you regained those 5 coins that you lost. But you're going to have to figure out how to make sense of that. You're going to have to figure out how to get rid of the illusion so you can see it for what it really is. Okay? That's what that's saying. Now it all makes sense. Y'all know sometimes the cards be talking to me and I can't quite put it into words, but here they are. All right. I just want to see what this 10 of Swords is all about. If the Sibilas will cooperate. Well, the dilettante. Very important. Remember? Oh, yeah. And the fact that there could be more than 2 people involved. This idea of 3 people. Well, there it is. Groups, plurality. The Bambino, which is shown, is coming out to me as an intensifier. And the Domestico. Dual meaning here. Now, the dilettante speaks to flawed judgment. It speaks to hanging around people, bad company, or listening to folks who may be deluded, have delusions, confusing situations. the card says that, you know, if you're not careful, this can lead to dangerous things happening for you and bad outcomes. The Bambino, a new situation. So this is something new, but it also brings new conditions. It's not settled yet. So there are new conditions coming. And then we have the dual meaning of the Domestico. Now, he is the Knight of Wands or Clubs. That's what he relates to. But his meaning is someone who wants to help. That's what he does. He's a domestic. So this is running errands or doing things for you. But sometimes he can be the man returning. Okay. Sometimes he's known as the collaborator. He has a dual meaning. So the question becomes, is this really helping you or is it helping him? And then finally, he shows up simply as the concept of help. So what these three cards are saying to me, particularly falling on this card, that whatever this situation was, maybe you listened to the wrong people, maybe you took the wrong advice, maybe you're hanging out with folks who are trying to steer you in the wrong direction or get you off your path. This does lead to new unsettled conditions that seem to be quite painful to you, right? Just like, big stab in the back. But yet, hopefully, if you can embody the energy of the Hangman, you're going to come to a place where you can see, you know what, that helped me. Whether this actually happened with a person or not, that helped me because you get to learn something about the situation. And the whole key about making mistakes is that a mistake is just that. It's not a failure. It's a learning experience. You know what to do next time or no, what not to do next time. Does that make any sense? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and pull a Golden Nostradamus card because this has gone over way longer than I wanted it to. Formulate your question. It could even be saying that after all of this, somebody can come in to help you. But remember what happened before when you accepted help or you asked for help, right? Okay. The way that it feels, and I'm going to tell you intuitively how it feels, is that this, whatever this situation is, believe it or not, it is designed to help you. Okay. Because even if you are a female looking at this, you can embody the energy of the king. Okay. And if you are a male, you can embody the energy of this Nine of Pentacles lady. All right. It just depends. It's about what you got going on. Here's your card. If I'm not mistaken, that's the birds. It may be called the nest. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm fixing to find out. Number 28. It is called the birds. The damage a man thinks he has endured is actually something that brings value. Wow. You may experience a setback or suffer some damage. But if you are intelligent and wise enough, you will learn an important lesson and change misfortune into good luck. I'm telling you, y'all, the cards don't lie. So that's what I have for you. I'm having a hot flash too. It's all hot in my office, so that's why I'm all sweaty. I always sweat when I read cards. So that's what I have for you. I hope that message helped. Until next time, be well, stay safe, and namaste. Bye.